We're walking up.
Are there two? No. Oh, what did you say? No.
Becca and Kieran are passing out coming up.
I mean, that's where it needs to go.
We'll get started. It's 4:15. Right, so the first item on the agenda is to elect the chairman of the parish council for the ensuing year. And obviously declaration of acceptance of office. Do I have any nominations? Do I have a second? Tony, thank you. Do I have any other nominations? No?
I think that's it.
A win voted, yeah.
No! Should we challenge? Right, thank you very much.
Do we need to vote?
Yes.
Just do it.
Just
Oh.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
And you need to sign, just quickly sign that before you.
So is that 14? Is it 14?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I sit here, I can't see it.
What's my vote? Just my vote.
No, that's fine, this is me.
Right, moving on to elect a vice chair of the parish council for the ensuing year. Declaration of acceptance. Do I have any nominations?
I'll nominate Janet.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Neil. Do I have any other nominations?
Really?
No.
We're just doing the vice chair for the normal.
In that case, can I take a vote on Janet, please?
Thank you, you know. Oh, Janet. Janet, sorry. Just, thank you.
Well done.
Thank you. Yes, well done. Mutual congratulations.
Right, apologies for absence, please.
Anna and Ray Matthews.
Okay, can I, if at this point, can I just give a quick update on Ray? He has had the operation, and from what I gather, it's all going well.
Yeah, so I went to see him this morning. He was out of bed in a chair. Hope he's moving out of ICU to a ward tomorrow. So it's progressing well. He had a triple phone pass on Friday, so it's pretty good actually.
Should we send a card?
We have. We have. Okay, thank you very much. Right, moving on to public participation. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak? Except you. Okay, Ray.
It's very quick, but it's a future concern. I'm becoming increasingly aware that if there are issues on the N11 link, the A11 505 and 1307, greater volumes of traffic are now coming through what is the old High Street pavement with along the Mason Road. So the concern really is for the future when we have not only one development one side and one the other, the increasing volume of traffic.
Right.
It's just something I think we need to be concerned about as a village, because part of me suspects it's becoming a bit of a rat run.
Yeah, Annual Parish Council are obviously very concerned about it as well. And the road that you're talking about, I'm assuming, is the Witch.
Yes.
Yeah, which is, having spoken with Baden Parish Council, they want to have talks with the county highways, because obviously they have the same concerns. And at the moment, they're trying to arrange a meeting with the county highways to discuss that and to discuss all options or any options. Okay? But we're as a parish ourselves, we're obviously very concerned about the development as well, and the potential of rat runs, and the impact also it's going to have on the 1301, especially for the shelters and stable police. You know, so there's going to be some impact on there as well. The other thing as well, while you're talking about it, is Ickleton and Hickston are also concerned because they're worried about being used to that one. So there's a whole load of people that are in those discussions and talking. So, and hopefully they will, when we get the 505 traffic survey report back, which the funding has been offered now. So as I said before, that's a 2-year project, so we're going to have to wait and see what they come up with and what the proposals are going in. Okay?
Thank you.
Anything else? Have you liaised with?
Annual Parish Council, okay.
I do, yes. I'm also been a county council that comes under my ward.
Well, at the meeting last week that they held, their budget meeting, their annual meeting, they were equally concerned about where the park and ride will be put in.
Yes.
And they have looked at considerable plans for that. They're also proposing to put in speed bumps all through Bayburn High Street. They're talking about funding that themselves and reducing the speed limit to 20.
Yeah.
So they're active and seeking to ameliorate it.
They're also considering these other speed limits as well, because obviously the bit that's concerning is the speed limit from the Witch into Bayburn, and also the speed limit on the Sawston Bayburn Road. Covered with, I know you can't see junction, but there's also concerns with that area there. As far as I'm aware as well, there's the, and Tony will give me far more better detail, is there's also talk of the upgrade of the junction onto the 1307.
Oh yes, very much so.
If I can bring Tony Fell in now, Tony Orgy, not Tony Fell, he might know. But Tony Orgy is the chairman of the LLF, and he'll be able to give you answer your question.
Well, I'll start in reverse order. We'll start with the junction at the top of Bayburn High Street. That's one of the interventions that has been approved in principle by the Great Cane Partnership's executive board. But obviously detailed design work will have to be done on that, and it'll have to come out to consultation. But all the interventions along the 1307 are due to be completed by the end of the next financial year. So that's the time scale. And hopefully it's one of those that's progressing sooner rather than later in that time scale. So that's the second one. The first one, what was the A1307 transport study now called the Cambridge South East Transport Study? We had a workshop a few days ago. That was confidential, but I can tell you that agenda papers will be issued on the 27th of May. This will be about the further work done by consultants on strategy 1, which is the offline route, and incorporated within that will be potential sites for park and ride sites. So that will be discussed by the Greater Cambridge Partnership Joint Assembly on June the 6th, which will then make their comments known, and I'll make the LLF's comments known to the Executive Board, which meets on the 27th of June. So that's the decision-making point.
Thank you. Any other comments? No? All right. Declarations of interest for this meeting, please.
Yes, I've got one. Item 14, I'm a member of the congregation at St Mary's.
Okay.
Yes, I ought to declare that as well as a member of the Sawston Parish.
Okay. Any other declarations? No? Thank you. Right. To appoint members of the following committees for the ensuing year. Have you got the sheet? I'll give you. Yeah. Are you all in acceptance of the ones you applied for and hopefully got?
These are all within the permitted numbers, aren't they?
Yes.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All happy?
Cemetery. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll take a vote.
So first.
Thank you.
Do you have a second up?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. All in favour?
Lovely, thank you.
Thank you. Right, confirm the minutes of the full parish are held on the 9th of April. Right, 243. 244, 245, 246, 247, 248, 249, 250, 251, 252,
There's a typo heading in that one.
Thank you. 253.
In that one, what was LHI stand for?
Local Highway Initiative.
Yes.
Would it be worth just writing it out? If anything?
Yes.
Because I didn't know what it meant offhand, and just for future reference.
That's fine. Okay. 254, 255, 256, 257, 258, 259 and 260. Can I have a proposer that they are Neil, Secretary David? All those in favour?
Yeah.
Thank you. No matters arising, like report from the Recreation and Open Spaces Committee, held on the 16th of April. Right, can we do one?
No.
1 and 2 we didn't do. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, proposed to recommend to full. One second vote, excellent. To recommend that the clerk identifies ownership of the shed, and if it is the parish council's, then we offer it to Romney Mill, who have agreed they would repair and make good before we use it.
So the shed belongs to Sawston Rovers and Sawston United Youth have been using it. I've spoken to Sawston Rovers and they've said they're absolutely happy for Romney Mill to use it as long as they can keep their rope and that in there. So I'm waiting for a key so that we can go and have a look at it. So it's ongoing, but yeah, they're happy for that.
So, everyone, any other comments? Anyone happy with that?
Yes. Can I just ask if any mention of insurance, if we pass it over, was asked? Because if we're passing it over to somebody else, then presumably they will insure whatever they store within that shed.
Good point.
Well, it doesn't belong
No,
to us.
because it's
does it?
not us, it's that, yeah, we won't be taking ownership,
No,
it's just
but
Romsey Mill with
for them
approved, so
not to
they should
assume
have,
that we
yeah,
are
I can make that
insuring.
clear.
Oh, yeah, we
We'll
need to know.
clarify that.
And any damage due to repairs, presumably, or liability due to repairs.
I just need checking.
Thank you.
But can we just take the vote if we're happy for
Yeah, can we just, are we all agreed that we're happy for, with those comments on board, that we're happy to go ahead with this? Number 9, request from Baden football team to use Linton Way recreation ground. It was proposed by Councillor Janet Martin, second by Anna Antonello, to recommend to full we allow them the use of the pitch for the next season and review it again year on year. All sorts of clubs will have priority over using the ground. So this is.
I was going to say just a vote on that.
Yeah, it's just that another football club wishes to use our facilities. Does anyone have any objections? If not, can we take a vote on that?
Presumably you have enough capacity.
Yeah. Okay, can I take part in that then?
Yeah.
10, 11, request from the head groundsman to purchase a hand blower. It was recommended by the Council Neil Reid, and seconded by Councillor Beck-Laxon to recommend to full that we go ahead and purchase a hand blower at a cost of £210 plus VAT. Any comments? No? Can I take a vote on that the full council's happy with that?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. 12, 13, 14.
There's a typo in them 14, it's opposing rather than opposing.
Yes. 15, 16.
Right, could we, well, just before we put them, could we note with pleasure request under 10 from a resident and thank the resident for what she's done?
Yeah.
I think that's really good, because we really need young people's views.
Yes.
A lot of those who's come forward.
And they have been invited to
Yeah, I've been in touch with them and they are.
to discuss.
But we can welcome them.
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
I'll be happy to second that.
Are we happy with that?
Yes.
Can I have a proposal for minutes?
Yes.
Neil, seconder, David. All those in favour? Thank you very much. Right, report of the Planning Environment Committee held on the 23rd of April. Right. One.
Sorry, you should say who was chairing the meeting.
Chairman.
How is that meeting?
Yes, it should actually.
Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It was proposed by Councillor Kevin Halford and seconded by Councillor David Barr to recommend to full we accept the quote for £7,000 plus VAT for the work, so for the tree surgeon quotes and the work on the village after recent tree survey. Any comments?
Yes.
Sorry, after you.
Right, well, for those people who aren't members of the committee, we would want, I'm sure, some justification why we go for 7,000 as opposed to a lower.
Just let's get the last name
Right, that's that right.
Because we spoke, didn't we, about we did this reputation
Yeah.
of the plan. We spoke to Alan with regards to, it was people we've used before, we have trouble getting quotes, and one of the companies.
They didn't quote us properly, did
No.
they? So all the other two quotes, they broke down the quote, each tree, each work. The other quote, it came back as just a sum. Then when I asked them again, it came back as a different quote. So it wasn't great, their quoting system.
That was the cheapest one.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is they weren't specifying what work they're going to do, because it says work or thing, so
Because the other two
they
gave,
weren't specifying what that work
No.
was.
with the other two we knew
Well,
exactly.
And they came in together, didn't
Yes.
they? So each prices, whereas the other one wasn't, even though I went back to them a couple of times, it was still missed some of the things that I'd asked for.
Oh, so we think that
I
actually.
think it
the
might
price
have
was
come out
more.
more. Yeah,
And then we didn't want them to come back.
And were they people that we hadn't used before?
They were people.
Makes a lot of sense.
Does that
I'm
answer
happy
your
to
question?
accept that.
You have it,
It's just that we need a reason to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't fit in the-
That's fine. Can I take a vote on that? Unanimous. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Can I have a proposal for those, please? Neil, seconder, Jane, all those in favour? Report of Finance and General Purpose Committee held on the 25th of April.
Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To discuss the cyber insurance policy for the parish council. It was proposed by Councillor Kevin Cufford, seconded by Councillor Bennett Martin, to recommend to full we go ahead with this cyber insurance at a cost of £391 per year on a 3-year contract. And the IT working group look into other ways of protecting the parish council with regards to security, backups and parish council email addresses. Comments, please.
In the last of the bullet points, what's the cyber event that we're referring to, or is that they're going to investigate possible causes and codes of possible cyber events?
Well, so it would be a data breach or some kind of data loss, or if the computer gets a virus, those sorts of things where that's where the
But the policy fee covers this specialist company
yes.
analysing what might go wrong, basically.
No, not what might go wrong, what has gone wrong. So it's, if there is an incident, the insurance covers getting a specialist in to help fix it.
Oh, right. So if we said at the beginning of that bullet point, if there was an event.
Well, or just instead of it's any cyber event.
Yeah, any. Yeah. Okay. All those in favour of cast for vote? All those in favour of that? Yeah.
What's the second point though? Is that, I don't understand what point that's making about the general insurance policy. Is that because we use the same person for our general insurance policy? Is that sort of song comment?
Yes, it was just that he was there and he mentioned that he would be getting quotes and that they would come to this meeting.
Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9. Update on year end. It was proposed by Councillor Kieran Cooper and seconded by Councillor Kevin Catholic to recommend to full. All the answers are yes.
Actually, we've got this as an agenda
we've got
item.
this because it needs,
We'll come back to that.
yeah, because it needs to be a
Okay, that's fine.
separate agenda item.
You've got your spear. Right, can I have
Everyone's had
I'm
copies
happy
as
to
well.
propose the minutes.
okay, I'll have a seconder, Tony, and all those in favour? Thank you very much. Accounts for the month of April. Any comments?
On the income sheet, where we've got Ivan and me in that store, didn't we say
Oh, we said we
that we wanted to full a description when it was actually somebody who'd
We wouldn't put names on it, so we put the
Well, we spoke about it a lot, didn't actually say cemetery, but we should put, plot instead. Plot number.
Anything else? Can I have a proposal?
Yes.
Thank you.
Tony, thank you. Can I have a seconder? David, thank you. All those in favour? Thank you very much.
I'm now saying,
Thank you.
oh, there's a typo in replacement blades on the checklist.
Right. Thank you very much. Planning applications and associated matters. S116219FL, single story side and rear extension, roof lights, conversion of garage to habitable use and pitching existing garage roof at 12 Wakeling Avenue. Comments, please.
I've got 2 comments. Yeah, I've had a look at this. I've had a look at it in quite a lot of detail actually. Went back and forth along plans. And I had two issues with it. One, this is end terrace.
Yes,
So it joins on, so thank you for confirming that for me. The second thing was, I couldn't see in this plan, maybe you can help me, where the front door is.
Well, funny you should say that, 'cause I don't know that, but I've worked it out.
Have you? Oh,
Yeah,
good.
it's there. It's there. It goes into, if you look carefully, there are two doors. There's one going into the lobby place here,
Okay.
and there's one going directly into the studio, so you wouldn't have to walk through their studio in order to get into the hall,
Yeah,
which
right.
seems an awkward arrangement, but it's
Yeah.
a choice, so I don't know why they refuse it on this
No. Oh, well, thank you for explaining that, because I did wonder how that would appear in terms of street scene. And I assume we don't need to be concerned that one of the about the studio issue.
You know the houses, I mean, they're
Yeah.
the ones that have those galleries sticking out the front. Basically, they're putting in the gap, which,
Yeah.
you know, if it can be done, it seems a reasonably fairly logical thing to do if you want to create extra space. I mean, I don't think there's any reason for refusal of those.
Okay. You propose a move
So do I come to propose?
Yes,
You're going to propose
an
it?
objection.
Yeah, second it.
Second it?
Yes.
All
Thank
those
you
in
for
favour?
explaining that.
Any against? Abstentions? 1. Thank you very much. S1383-19FL, single storey rear extension at 7 South Terrace. Comments, please.
Well, that's a mid-terrace. There don't seem to be any extensions on either side, so basically it's sticking out. It's a fairly modest extension. I couldn't see any comments from neighbours. I don't know whether Joe's had anything or not, but certainly on what's before me, I couldn't see a reason for refusal.
Thank you.
Have we got any reasons to not support David?
No, I said I can't see any
Can't see any
reasons.
reason.
I can't see any reasons for refusal.
So on the plan, the front door again is kind of to the side of the porch.
Well, I think the front door is yes.
That's existing front.
Yes, yeah.
And that's existing rear, which is a bit odd.
Well,
It's got a nice
it's a sort of awning, isn't it?
Awning,
Yes,
okay.
yes, yeah. I
Okay.
think the extension was at the rear, I don't think it'd be the front actually, so that's as is. And you can see on the ground plan there, the doors on the side of the
Yeah.
porch there.
Oh yes, you can
So
see.
it's only the rear extension that we're considering.
Okay.
So, do we have a
Yeah,
proposal?
propose it, yes.
Accept. Do I have a second?
Yeah.
David? All those in favour? Any objections? Abstentions? Thank you very much. S124419FL, 2-storey and single-storey rear extension including loft conversion and single-storey front extension at 2 and 3 South Terrace.
Do you want me to say something? Yes, I'll go first. Yes, this is two houses in the centre of a terrace of 4, which are being extended by the same builder, well, same architect. The proposal is a joint proposal. It's the same architect. Double-storey extension at the back and a loft extension as well. So there will be some raising of the roof height on this, which I think we need to discuss in view of the visual impact for those particular buildings. The other concern I had was about the material that's being used. I don't know if anyone else had a look at the back. It's quite dominant grey, pigmented anthracite zinc or similar, and the similar building that the architect references is the English Language School in Cambridge. So my concerns with that is what we've said in the Village Design Guide, which I know is not adopted yet, but it seems a shame that it's not replicating the appearance of two houses already.
And I think there's also, I think the word which sort of came to my mind when I looked at it was actually contrived. It's quite, it can be done, but it's not Well, I mean, it's clearly my views. I think it's a very elegant extension. I think there are concerns that the fact that although it's quite a small increase on the roof line, the existing roof line, it is in the middle of a terrace of 4. And I think, we have commented on similar applications before. I think there was one in Woodland Road a couple of years ago, which also went for the roof line to accommodate a loft extension. And that was supported by South County, it was appeal, it was supported by the planning inspector. So I think there is an issue there.
Yeah. Where do we stand on this regarding with the VDS, Village Design Statement?
Well, the village design statement, it doesn't, well, I think it's one of the things we probably need to comment on. It doesn't actually have anything on extensions, does it?
Well, it does refer to all property owners.
Yes.
Need to take account of the
Yes.
village design guide. It does refer in the introduction
Yes,
to all property owners and developers. So that was one of the things I was going to check with Hannah.
Yes.
But I think it will be a reasonable comment to make about visual impact and references the building materials and being out of keeping with those 4 houses and the ridge height being too high. So
I'll propose do not support.
Second item.
What was it about the building materials? So
Um,
out of keeping with.
Yeah, and comment on with the Village Design Guide.
and the materials,
The materials,
the
yes.
pigmented anthracite, zinc or similar material, not being in keeping with the buildings, the existing dwellings.
Anything else, David, that you can use?
Well, I think the main issue is the roof line and materials.
Ridge height too high, materials out of keeping streets and existing dwellings, visual impact on streets and.
Okay, we have a proposal and a second.
to object.
To object. All those in favour of that?
Yeah.
Sure, I'm going to abstain.
Abstain.
You're abstaining? You're abstaining? Okay, no one objecting to the recommendation, should I say?
Objecting to object.
No one objecting to object. Right, thank you very much. Right, S147119 ES, scoping opinion at former Spicer site, Sawston bypass. Comments, please.
What does scoping opinion mean? Sorry.
Good point.
Sorry,
Good
what's
idea.
that?
Scoping.
Scoping opinion, does it mean it's a...
Well, it was deemed to meet an environmental impact assessment. And the scoping report is covers the area the environmental impact assessment should cover.
That's the issue, isn't it?
It is the issue. Yes.
And there is a planning consultation response, I expect you saw this, from the sustainable drainage engineer about proposal to scope out surface water drainage and flood risk. The proposal was within the scoping document, and the engineer says this is not acceptable for the following reason, i.e. their proposals for how to deal with it is not acceptable. Site overlines the source protection zone, and due to proposed development use, the risk to the zone is greater than would normally be the case. A standard sustainable drainage scheme may not fully address these issues and meet the requirement of controlled flow and volume.
Yes, I think that also links to the fragility of the thing, because I think that's an issue that I raised during the consultation. There's water levels need to be maintained to level to retain the fin and habitat there.
So do we put comment in?
Well, I'd like to, if we can, in support of the drainage engineer's comments.
Yes.
The only other thing to know is where is it, about I've forgotten where it's, can't see where it says it exactly, but what it refers to is the fact that at the moment, what's within the scoping guide is the research development buildings alone. It doesn't cover dwellings.
It's phase one.
Phase one
Yes.
doesn't cover dwellings.
Is
So
the access covered in that, where it comes off that bypass?
No, this is only environmental, so this doesn't have anything to do with the access yet.
Surely that should be covered in their scoping.
Well, it's environmental impact, isn't it?
Not as part of the environmental impact. assessment.
Not necessarily that.
Well, that's what aspect this relates to. I mean, I agree that it's a real issue. And it's one I've raised with them separately, and I'm sure others have as well. Because as you know, it was a condition for a major expansion of spices which was proposed in the early 1990s.
Yeah.
And was going back again in 98. It's never implemented because it cost us. I think it was costing us well, we won't go into that.
No, that's something that we can pick up at a later date anyway, on those issues. So, the
But
proposal...
surely how people access the site does have environmental aspects.
Yeah. Well, can we
I mean,
include that in our
I
comment?
think a specific proposal would have that, would have an environmental impact. I mean, if, for example, they're proposing to build a flyover, that will clearly have an environmental impact. And I'm not sure if they aren't intending to modify an existing access as it would.
So when you get the 3 lorries that back up because of the railway line being down,
Yeah, but
you
it's
get
just,
But that's not what this application is about, is it?
and in any case, I mean, it's difficult because it's really reinstating the existing permission. So it's really what their proposal would do over and above the existing permission on that site. To my mind, anyway. So.
Given the drainage report is fairly uncompromisingly worded, isn't it? Do we think we've actually got anything that we need to add to that, or are we better off keeping our powder dry for later when we might want to, comment about the sort of traffic issues that Neil's?
I'm always in favour of keeping our powder dry.
I mean, I think in the case of you've had an expert opinion. I don't think there's an awful lot to add to that. I mean, we are very engineers, aren't we?
So, any...
Well, so how about proposing no comment? We make no comment on this particular issue.
Okay.
I think we could at least note the comments on the drainage.
Yeah, I think that would be appropriate.
No,
So
just comments say we
No.
we know the comments
We know
on drainage.
No,
and-
I support the comments.
Yeah,
No,
no,
just
no.
support, yes.
I think that would be good.
So Janet proposed that seconder to the Scottish training.
all those in favour of that? Unanimous. Right, the other items are for noting there are decisions that have obviously been made.
There's number 31 in this.
There's a co-op.
It is,
Ah.
Have they had any feedback over the breach of condition?
But no,
No.
It's been chased it up
Yes, yeah.
and not got anywhere, so I don't know whether we can do a proper reminder from the parish clerk. Would that work?
Sorry, over what?
Well, normally illuminated signs, a standard condition on illuminated
Is it
signs,
finished?
they should be
Okay.
they should be turned off when the premises are closed. And I was walking past it at quarter past 11 recently, and it was
Still on.
Still on.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's
Maybe
relatively-
get to that when we don't mind the medical centre being lit up like a Christmas tree all night,
well,
compared with one tiny dimly-lit sign.
they argued it's a security issue, but I mean that's not.
That's a different matter. This is a definite ritual. So we will just...
Well, I mean, I think, on several levels, I mean, apart from the aesthetic, there's a climate
we'll do
change
it,
issue
we'll
as
do it.
well.
Right.
And there are actually a number of business illuminated signs that don't obey that.
Well, in that case,
It'd be good.
in that case, they all need to be reported.
Yes, well, I was going to say,
Yeah,
it'd
they
be good.
tried to save energy, so why have it blazing while you're in the light?
Right, we will take note that we go and see which ones are still on and report them. Right, moving on. 14, to discuss the responsibility and maintenance of St Mary's Close Churchyard. We have invited...
No. Yeah. You must have mentioned. I don't know what the planning is in there.
Okay? We have invited Alan along to give comment or make comment. Do we need to go through annual discharge? No. Right. Alan, if I come, open the floor to you for your comments.
Surely. Thank you for inviting me. I think if you have walked the path between the porch and the current the current graveyard, then it is becoming increasingly dangerous. And the reason is that the paving slabs have cracked and split and are now very uneven, so when you put your weight on them, they move. And that is potentially problematic for the increasingly elderly people who go to visit ashes and go to visit graves and are finding it off-putting and alarming to feel that they might fall, especially after rain or when it's damp. And obviously that is something that concerns me very much. To have a churchyard which is open is always a mixed blessing, but on the other hand, it does mean that we do have a chance to support and help those who've been bereaved. And if a path is becoming increasingly dangerous to such a point that a number of, sadly it has to be said, widows who are now perhaps in their 80s are saying, well, I just won't visit these graves, and indeed younger people than that are saying, well, I just won't go to visit the grave of my husband or whatever, then I think that's something that we must seek to address. So this path of paving slabs was not laid on any foundation, but straight onto the earth. And therefore that is why, either in dry weather, which of course we've had a lot of lately, or in wet weather, it moves. And thus the slabs are cracked. I mean, that's the top and bottom of it. We have a responsibility, I think, of care for these increasingly frail and elderly people who are using the path and would like to do it regularly. And some less elderly who are taking grandchildren to visit their...
Not responsible for the access to it, which is a very necessary part of it. Would it be worth suggesting that the church works out what the best solution is and gets some quotations and then puts in one of our standard applications for us to fund half that work as one of our standard grants? And then A, we know what kind of sum of money we're talking about, and B, we're not setting any precedents. But it sounds to me as though 50-50 would be quite a good solution to the problem.
I was going to just say, because this is a health and safety issue, I do think it needs to be dealt with this summer, doesn't it? Because we can't run the risk of someone breaking a leg and suing both the church and the parish council as a result of this. But if people would go after whoever they think is responsible in an issue like that, and I think I wouldn't rule it out that the parish council could be seen as responsible. You would have to fight it in a court, wouldn't you? But my point is, it's a health and safety issue.
So if we did it this way, then we could have an application in by our next meeting and get that through.
I'll send you, I'll speak to you.
All right, so
I'll email you and I'll tell you what we need.
Can we just leave this again? We're going a bit wild again. Sorry.
If there's the possibility of the parish doing something, local church council doing something, just one body needs to get an estimate. And I think the way forward that Beck's outlined is, I think, a really good way forward.
Do you want to try and make that a formal
Actually, sit there straight and then we'll do the...
So the recommendation then is that
so Alan and Mary get...
if you go
Two quotes.
Sorry?
Two quotes.
Three if you can.
Three if you can, if it's possible. I know that can be very hard work, very frustrating.
Yeah, try for three.
Try for three.
Yeah.
So if you go forward and with the quotes, obviously we have to break that down so we can see exactly. But and I agree with what Bex is saying, that we can use potentially other use of funding this. But I also am very mindful of the comment about setting a precedent. So we're going to have to be careful on how we do this in support of the church. Okay.
I'm puzzled by the good order part of the remit. Because surely to keep a graveyard in good order, but to have the path that's highly dangerous, how does it match up?
Yeah, but the issue is it's not the health and safety of the path. The problem is it's setting a precedent, so somebody else can say, well, you did the churchyard, why aren't you doing this? So we've got to make sure that we get that part of it right.
Final point from me then, a quotation for a foundation and paving.
Yeah, do it properly.
Yeah.
So we'll do it.
Get it, do it, yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay.
Joe might
Oh, the
want to
second.
trace people to...
So that's a proposal. Do I have a seconder?
Yeah.
Kieran? All those in favour? Sorry, the sun's in my face, I can't see a thing.
David, are you?
I'm not
You're
very
not.
sure because
You
it's
can't
Oh,
Right,
Good job.
Yeah.
Any objections? Abstentions?
Abstention, because my son's
And
married.
no votes.
In there.
Okay, thank you very much. And thank you very much for coming along.
Thank you.
Right, moving on, signing off the annual government statement for 2018-2019.
So this is the document that says Section 1 Annual Government Statements that we talked about at FMGP. It's the Council's acknowledgement that we have the controls in place as indicated here, and the FMGP recommended to you that we accept this as it's positioned.
So proposed.
Thank you. So I'll second that. Tony, all those in favour?
Second one, so,
Everyone?
yeah.
Right, back to you, Kieran. Signing off the accounting statement of 2018 and 2019.
So these figures have been prepared by our accountants and internal auditors. Is that right, Joe?
Yes.
I've checked them. They weren't discussed at FGP because we didn't have we have the draft figures, I think, but we didn't discuss them. So I'm happy with the figures as they stand, and I can hopefully answer any questions if anybody has any.
Any questions? Jane?
They've got fixed assets which are the same year on year. What would they get repaid?
So my understanding is that we don't own anything that's likely to increase in value, and we don't do any ongoing depreciation.
Yeah.
So the fact that they were the same this year is because we didn't add anything to the portfolio in 1819.
Tony?
Yeah, I mean, all the figures are internally consistent, and if you look at row 7, then you can see how that relates to the 6 rows above it. But if this is approved and it's there on the council's website, and a member of the public looks at it, one question they might ask is why is there such a difference in row 6 between 2018 and 2019? And it might be just help to have an explanation of that in a minute.
Yeah. The answer, as you probably know, is just that the expenditure we made in 2018 was significantly higher than it had been the previous year. So the figure for 18-19 is consistent with what it was for 16-17. We bought the Muga and the tractor in 17-18. So as it happens, as part of this submission, we have to identify, give an explanation for anything where the difference between the 2 years is more than 15%. So there is already drafted that note to go along with it. So we will minute it. Thanks.
Okay. Any other questions?
So can I propose, therefore, that we adopt it?
Do I have a second? Second, David? All those in favour? Thank you very much. Right, 17, to discuss the Parish Council insurance quotes.
Everyone should back on email, everyone.
Everyone got
Quotes. So we've got 3 quotes. So there's 3 quotes. The company that we use, Camco, are a broker, so they get the quotes for us. They're recommending that we go with the lowest quote on a 3-year fixed term agreement, which will be £8,613.37 per year. The other one is £9,392.43, and the third one is £9,106.
Camco are a specific broker for
parish council
parish
insurance.
councils.
Are we using them at present?
Pardon?
Are we using this same bill at present? No.
The broker we do, but this is a different insurance. The cheaper one for the 3-year long-term agreement is a different company that we're using now. It's the one that they're recommending for what we have and what we need.
The cheaper one covers everything that we need to have covered.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they've come in and we've gone through everything the other week. We went through everything, all our buildings and everything.
Okay.
So the 3 quotes are comparable, and
Yeah.
in preparing the quotes, we made sure that what we were covering was what we needed.
I just have 2 things to say. One is on the issue of the lowest insurer. I know they are the lowest one, and I recommend it, but they are new to the insurance sector, and I always feel it's important to have good customer relations. I don't know whether there's anything about what their rating is on that. I also note a bit of confusion on this issue of the cyber insurance, because both the quotes cover internet and email cover up to 500,000. Can you show any light? Is that a different insurance to what we will get for cyber insurance, or do we need to go back and say, do we actually still need to pay the additional
Cyber
amount?
insurance is separate.
It is separate.
It is.
But I notice it does say internet and email cover, as
That's
does
not the
the
cyber one.
It
as
does.
the Hiscox one, and I don't want to be paying twice or to get confusion over who we go to.
Because if there's any overlap, then somebody will refuse to pay. So it's
Yeah.
really
It's a
Yeah.
separate policy, then it's not in.
Definitely, the broker suggested that we needed a separate policy for it. So, but we can definitely go away and ask the broker
question
what
about that.
yeah.
And can we ask about East Guy's customer relations rating? I just think it's quite important. Obviously, we've dealt with our current insurer, so we know.
Well, I deal with the broker, but we do need to make a decision though, because the insurance.
So if we have an issue, we deal with the broker rather
Yeah, I don't deal
than
directly.
We deal with the
Insurance
broker.
company, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's one of the advantages of the
So
broker.
we can clarify the issue regarding the internet,
Yeah.
regarding that, but taking into consideration that we need to get the insurance in place, do I have a proposer that we accept the lowest?
For the 3-year term.
Thank you, Tony. Do I have a seconder? Neil? Thank you. All those in favour? Thank you very much for that. We will get back and check the
internet and cyber, and I'll let you know.
internet side of it. Okay? Right. 18. To agree the S106 money for the development of Mill Lane. Land at Mill Lane, should I say. Which is
So this is £152,117.13.
Thank you very much.
I propose we accept.
Are you sure? Are you absolutely sure? Seconded by Tony. All those in favour?
Sophie, can you give us that figure? Sorry, Kevin.
£152,117.13. Pence.
Yeah, it sounds a lot, but believe me, it's just a portion of what we need.
Yes, it was negotiated as a contribution towards the refurbishment or rebuilding of the Mill Lane Pavilion.
Yeah.
And as such, it's a
No.
Yeah. We'll
Good
move on
start.
as we say. Right, to discuss the Marvin Centre. As you know, they came along and did a presentation on the Marvin Centre at the annual meeting. And I'm hoping that most people have responded saying that we do support. We are sending a letter from... We have sent a letter from the council. One thing is that came from the H1B development was the S106 money that was granted. David managed to get the ring fence taken off it so we could use it for recreational purposes. So
yes, just a bit more explanation of that, because it was in the original officer report, it was listed as being specifically for a contribution towards a skate park on Bristol recreation ground. And since that project is at a very early stage, indeed may never happen, I felt that it was inappropriate to tie down that precisely. So the wording that I asked for, and I think was agreed by the council, was to simply be for the improvement of recreation facilities and resources.
taken that on board, as chair, I would like to propose, and I'd like to have the council's comments and feeling on this, that after discussion with the Marvin Centre, that we use £10,000 of that money to go towards the Marvin Centre and their refurbishment. That's what a proposal I'm putting forward to the council, and I'm now asking for your comments.
Can we do that if we don't actually yet have that money?
What we could do is potentially, I'd have to check the legality of it, but I think we could take it out of the reserves and then replace.
Well, I think, I checked the financial regulations on that.
That's what I said, I'll check, so I would have to have that check.
I share...
Because I think until we actually have the equivalent letter now,
we need the 106 agreement.
you know, the actual letter from South Camps that says, here's the offer.
Yeah, that's what I
Well, I mean, the 106 will not be assigned yet, because normally there's a renegotiation.
Yeah.
So until the 106 is signed, that money is being speculative anyway.
But I mean, if you wanted to make it a sort of declaration of intent, that
Yes,
because we could definitely commit to £10,000 for the project, either to be funded from S106 at the point when that comes, or to be funded from reserves. If we can't, then I think that would be a perfectly good thing to discuss.
Is it worth also holding our horses a bit? Because it doesn't look, I mean, what it says in the minutes is they were asking us for advice rather than a donation. Is it worth asking them to look into whether they could get any match funding from a contribution if we made it? In which case we might want to delay it until they've got that. Because people often do that kind of thing, don't they? There might be opportunities there.
Just partly in response to that, as I recall in the presentation they gave to us, they were working hard to get funding from lots of different areas. Was it at the annual meeting the last one?
No, it was the last parish.
Yeah. So they are working hard to do that. So I think they're looking for two things here. They're looking for us to support and also for the village to go on their website and fill in the form that says what a important asset the Marvin Centre is. Yes. So that is partly being done. The other thing I was going to say with regard to, yes, I support something, if possible, being ring-fenced, if that's the right word, or allocated from the reserves. In fact, I was wondering whether we wanted to make it more than 10,000. It depends a bit on what their needs are at the time, but I think it's such an important village asset, and it's very important as well for the development of the children at Village College as a performing arts facility as well. So I certainly support that.
Tony?
Yeah, I think we certainly ought to support this. We just need to be a bit careful about the legality of what we can do.
Yeah.
If we could issue a letter of intent or a decision in principle, I'd be quite happy with that. And it's not a question of can you get match funding from somewhere else, but some some funding bodies wouldn't even consider it, I don't think, if the parish council itself hadn't made a contribution. So I think that contribution needs to be made early, legally, and as I say, I fully support it, but we just need to check what we can do at this stage as to whether it's a decision in principle or letter of intent.
Absolutely. Barry, can I bring you in?
Well, thank you for letting me speak. The cost of the project at the moment is £240,000, and that's only to secure the building. The final project, really, if we were to make it, is like 1.4 million. But the idea is that we secure the building in effect from all the downfalls, leaks, whatever. So we've been in touch with the National Lottery, and we're applying for a grant of 190,000. They advise us that the best chance of getting the money is to make it under 200,000. So we've got a project costed out at 240,000, and we would like, hopefully, the National Lottery will give us 150,000 shortfall. Now, if you give us a substantial grant, we feel that there is some traction in that to apply to other bodies who've been reluctant so far to help us. And I think if the parish council were to give us a substantial sum, there'll be some traction there. I mean, I can then go, to Great Shelford Parish Council and say, hey, this isn't just Sawston, this is an area facility. So I think it's brilliant. We're very grateful if that's kind of something talking about.
So what we're going to do is find out where we stand legally and where we stand regarding an intent, and how we potentially could either bring that money forward early, or if we have to wait for the S106 process to go through. So in general, are we happy for us to look into the issue of supporting the Marvin Centre and offering £10,000?
Yes.
Well, I wonder whether we can actually make it more definite.
Well,
we can decide now to spend it from the reserve. When we get the S106, we could decide to replenish that reserve.
Yes, I think you need to check whether you can apply S106 monies post-hoc. I'm not sure that you can actually.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say as well. I think we just need to check.
Check the data. But
Well, we can check it, but we can always bring it back.
yeah.
I think we need to go away and we need to check it all, and then we'll bring it back to another. So we've got the information.
Just like give us enough time. If we make a kind of strong commitment of intent at this meeting, but then make an official decision at the next, will that give you enough time?
If it turns out we can't use the S106 money, how much do we have in reserve, and could we
Plenty.
use?
Oh, well, there's plenty in reserve to do that.
current reserves.
So can we make a commitment to it anyway?
So if it's not used out of 106, it's used for the reserve.
Yeah.
I mean, personally speaking, again, my opinion, I'm quite happy for us to use the £10,000 out of our reserves for this project, and then deal with the S106 at a later date. And if we can't use it, then we can't use it. So
having said that, there are other projects to which S106 money could be legitimately applied, in particular refurbishments of your pavilion, and also possibly the construction of the pavilion.
All of which would save us from committing money from our reserves to those projects.
Yeah.
Right, what I'd suggest then is we simply take £10,000 from reserve. As simple as that. Forget about it.
Yes.
So are you making that proposal? I will second that. All those in favour?
Lovely.
Excellent. We got there in the end.
And I said thank you.
Noted. Barry said thank you.
Can I, just for formality's sake, which organisation is it that we're donating to?
Yeah, what's it classed as the Marvin Centre? Is it actually
Still owned by the college.
Yeah.
So we're making
So we're making
a
payment
donation
to the village college. So I'll speak to you anyway. I'll speak to Leslie.
and hopefully they can give more collateral and support regarding getting other grants as well.
Yeah.
Do we want to know as part of this, how much the modern centre is used by everybody in the village. It's not
We're
just
taking a vote on it now, so for that question we'll have to bring up
I
again.
can tell you that the college hardly uses it. It's 80-90%
Yeah.
community.
Yes.
I thought that was said at the presentation.
It was.
It was actually put forward. The whole figures. Right, moving on to discuss parking bollards at the office.
No, you missed residents.
Oh, sorry. Residents request to install a memorial plaque on a tree in Mill Lane recreation ground. Do apologise.
Okay, so yes, basically, that's what it says, the lady has requested if we can, well, if she can install a memorial plaque on a tree in Mill Lane.
I think we previously turned down similar requests, partly because if you didn't pay for the tree, it's strange to stick a plaque on it, and partly because I think in the past we've often needed benches and suggested that somebody installs benches.
This one, she doesn't want a bench, there's already a bench there, and the nearest thing to put a plaque on would be the tree, which is why she's asked if she can have the...
It's going on the floor in front of the tree, not actually attached to the tree that grows.
Either or whatever, I mean, if you want to put a plaque...
You wouldn't normally put a plaque on the tree unless the person's actually donated the tree, would you?
No. Well, I did not... Yeah, but I did mention that maybe planting a tree somewhere, but they want it in a specific place because this is where they always sat. And they would have liked to.
Would it damage the tree though? Put it on the tree anyway?
Well, we can recommend to one of those ones a plaque on not a stick, but that goes stake that goes into the ground by the tree.
So it's not actually on the tree anyway?
Not on the tree, no. I have explained obviously vandalism and that.
Yeah. Is there a good place where we could plant a new tree and ask this person to...
It doesn't matter, they want it in that particular area.
I think it's rather...
Any other comments? Tony?
I'm just worried about setting a precedent.
That's fine. I have,
I'm against it really, so
No,
personally,
that's fine.
because of the precedent. I mean, there's probably a couple hundred trees on it.
They had originally asked to scatter the ashes on the recreation, so this is sort of a compromise, but if, you know... No, that's fine.
I mean, for me, I would have to agree with Tony. I'm worried about this setting and precedent that we could end up with plaques.
Well, not just on the recreation ground, but
Someone want to make a...
would somebody would like to propose that? So Tony proposed. Do I have a seconder? Jane? All those in favour?
Sorry, so we reject or refuse. Could you come up with more ideas?
So Jane come back with an idea. I would the suggestion I would make is one that Beck said is choose a tree, put a tree in a specific place, and then that
It needs to be in this area, and there's not enough room for any more trees. But I have suggested that, and I will suggest it again.
Now, the bench that's there, who put the bench there then?
It's our bench.
So can they put a plaque on the bench?
Well, not if they haven't.
No.
The normal...
They can donate a tree there, yeah.
Right, well, I'll tell this, and then I'll...
Right, so all those in favour of that? Thank you very much.
So do we have a policy then that we can't scatter ashes?
There are quite strict regulations about disposal of people.
All they have to show us one line.
Well, I know, exactly,
right, moving on to discuss parking bollards at the office.
Oh, well, the bollards, yes. So obviously they have been installed so you can park in between them.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, watch me in the morning.
Oh, I know.
I can get...
No, I had sorted this out with the company that installed them. Me and Kevin, we did meet with them and obviously explain the situation. They had installed them wrong, so they were going to come back and put it right. Unfortunately, since then the company has gone bust, so we won't be getting them to come back. So I have asked another company, because obviously the issue is people are still parking in between them. So I've had a quote to rectify the problem, which is moving a couple of bollards and installing another one, £980 plus that.
Joe,
Yes.
is there anything in our insurance that would cover this? We're not covered against combat against people who've gone bankrupt? Or is it the kind of thing where it's not actually worth making a claim?
I don't think for the value it's not.
No,
We just need to get it sorted.
I think it's a case of we caught the cold, technically speaking, and we need to move forward because it is creating a problem down there.
And especially now we've got more obviously with the time, more people coming in on a regular basis. It's
but they are one of the things is with the new initiative that's coming out is that I'm sure you've heard on the radio is they are looking at making outside schools park-free zones, so you can't park outside the school. It's a national initiative that they're looking at. So it'll be interesting.
yeah, exactly.
That just something to.
Can I ask you a question? Well, what's the position with the blue badge bay? Will that have a bollard as well?
So
Why not?
Because you're asking the disabled person to get out of the car, I'm going to buy that.
Yeah, but people do park in it who aren't disabled.
I think it's with the other parking spaces. If we have the bollard set properly, the disabled we don't need to, and we can go out and tell people then. See if they're parked in it. So I don't mind approaching them.
Okay.
I'm not approaching people after the last incident who are just parked in a parking space that they shouldn't park in.
I thought I'd ask the question
Yeah.
anyway.
I'm not sure if we discussed it before because this has been going on for some time now. But wouldn't it be a cheaper version to put a chain between the posts, stop people driving in?
There's a ring on
We
top
looked
of
at
the
that,
chain.
and the trouble is how you link the chains up. And it was recommended to us that that's not a viable solution.
Well, surely you can. They're metal posts, aren't they? You can just weld a ring on each post and then put the chain which is locked to the ring. It seems simple to me.
I think you'd have to. You wouldn't be able to have one because you drop one and then
you
you'd have
have
to drop.
a chain between. Is there 3 posts?
Yeah.
So 2 chains between the posts. Slightly cheaper than £1,000.
Well, one's broken anyway.
Yeah,
So
one
that
needs
needs
replacement because that's
replacement.
been anyway hit and you can't get it up or down. So this does include.
That's what I wanted to say.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
That needs doing
That makes it
anyway.
worse because we're only spending £1,000 on another post. We've got to replace another one. So that's £2,000.
No, that's included. That price is including repairing the one that's been hit or damaged.
So,
Fair comment? Yeah, absolutely fair comment.
just saying.
Would you make that a proposal?
Oh, well, indeed.
There you go.
So to get the one that's damaged
We still
repaired,
need to-
so
we
we
still
still
need
have to
that
get
one.
another quote anyway.
Yes.
So repair damaged.
I feel sure that a metal ring which is welded to the posts which are there,
Yeah.
and then a chain attached to said rings.
We'd have to have individual ones, otherwise the chain would have to be.
But then I just have two chains and 2 padlocks and you wouldn't need to fold down bollards because you don't need to put a chain in it.
If you unlock the
Yeah, no,
chain, just
yeah,
out on the ground
yeah,
anyway.
Right, do I have a second for that? Jane, thank you very much. All those in favour of that?
Just abstain on that.
I'm abstaining.
Okay, I'll get another quote.
Okay? Correspondence,
No.
except for one.
Oh yes, you've got one. Yeah.
There's one. I received this today at 14:56. It's from Rob Grayson. Dear Kevin, I hereby provide you with my letter of resignation from the Sawston Parish Council. This decision is by no means a reflection of yourself or any councillors or our superb clerks, but I have decided to resign based on my other commitments which are preventing me from being as involved as I really should be in the role. Since having moved from Sawston at the beginning of the year, I became involved in the establishment of the new Residents Association in Eddington and I do not feel I will be able to adequately perform my duties for both parties. My time on Sawston Parish Council has been a privilege, and I would like to thank everyone of my fellow councillors, as well as wishing them all the best for the future. The village is fortunate to have this group of committed volunteers, and I know there are still more who are ready to join up at the next available opportunity. P.S. I'll be back to make sure those grass verges are tidy.
I've noted that.
Okay, so I did reply to the email. If anyone else wants to reply to the letter, I did reply saying that I'm sorry to see him make the decision and sorry to see him go. So I did think he contributed quite significantly.
Reducing the average age by about a decade.
That's a major good point. And it's all like brought the issue of old grey-haired middle-aged men into disrepute.
Well, you might have responded, but I think we'll respond on behalf of the whole parish.
Yes.
Thank you for listening. Okay. I don't think there's any other correspondence. Update from county councillors. There is no update due to the fact that you had my annual report before, and there's nothing new that's happened. Is there any update from the district councillors?
No.
Right, councillors' issues for the agenda for the next meeting. Kieran?
None, thanks.
Tony?
Well, I noticed that today the gutters around the parish building are disgusting. You need a lawnmower on it. Every year they have to.
Trees growing.
Get your steps out.
Yeah.
We'll do that tomorrow.
The sun is shining, big sun, will be all right. Mike?
Yes, I have concerns over the cycleway.
Yes?
They're getting closer and closer to the hedgerow. They're exposing all the roots of the hedge. That's one thing. The other thing is, when it's completed, yes, it'll be a good highway thing, or a good cycleway thing, but there's going to be a lot of danger where we live.
Yes. Moving in and out, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not only the people using the cycleway. You can be waiting to come out onto the road, and cycles are coming down the road, then they give us the thumbs up or the fingers up because they come in at our entrance to get on the cycleway.
I think we need some clear signage, by the way, don't we?
Yeah. Something's got to be done.
Yeah.
Just as a matter of interest, Kevin, on that, how far is the improvement there? Is it going right up as far as the traffic lights?
Yes.
That's what I was
Yes.
And the other thing, Kevin, is before it was a cycleway, it was just an ordinary footpath to Stapleford. And there used to be about 2 metres or 3 metres of grass burdens between the path and the hedge. So when it was cut, there was no danger to anybody whatsoever. Now, with the hedge, it's going to grow into the cycleway because it's level. When they first put the cycleway in, I've got an agreement that when the hedge was cut, the county council would sweep and clean the cycleway. Well, now, with cutting the hedge, I've been fortunate that, I work with Alan. Alan has helped cut the hedge for me in exchange for what I do for the council. I think the county council should pay the parish council for cutting that now.
As far as I'm aware, the issue of the maintenance of it is what I did bring up at a meeting some time back, and I was given assurance that the county council or the county council in partnership with the Greater Cambridge Partnership would be paying for that, would be carrying out the maintenance of that pathway. Now, it's one of those, how can you say, wait and see. But I will be on that all the time about the maintenance of that. And yes, because I've noticed they certainly hacked that hedgerow right back. And one of the things that I was concerned about is the potential of that hedgerow dying, because there's some severe hacking going on there.
Well, they hacked it last time, so they're going to give it a good oil this time.
Yeah. So we'll be watching that very, very closely. Okay?
Yeah.
And keep me informed at all times. Right. Anything else, mate? Tony?
Yeah, well, it's what I said earlier in the meeting about the Kent South East Transport Study. The agenda papers are going to be made available on May the 27th, which is the day before the planning committee meeting. But it will be talking about the route, what the consultants have come up with for potential routes for Strategy 1 and also potential sites for the park and ride site. So I think, because the executive board doesn't meet till the 27th of June, I think it'd probably be best at the parish council meeting on the 11th as an agenda item.
Yeah. Just point out, if you're talking about the diagram showing the alternative routes, they're on the website already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, they are. So I downloaded them.
I think what you're talking about, we're talking about two marginally different things.
Okay.
One, I'm sure what's on the website is what was discussed at the workshop.
It was.
Yes. Now, there was some views expressed by members of the workshop, and those views were taken away.
Right. Okay.
And it doesn't necessarily mean that every one of those alternatives will actually be put forward in the final agenda papers. It may be that possibly a park and ride site is felt to be so inappropriate that it's no longer taken forward, or maybe some of the alternatives, slightly different alternative routes, maybe some of those won't be progressed further. So, although what was discussed there, it's not necessarily absolutely identical to what comes out of the agenda paper. So the agenda paper might be marginally different from that. That gives you a broad flavour of the ideas, but as I say that the detail might be slightly different in the final paper.
I did speak to Andrew Mungo today, and he basically said exactly the same what you've just said. They're taking it away and they're looking at it.
Yeah.
You know, and he'll come back with the details as and when.
Yeah, well, at the workshop, we had about 30 people present, and they took an hour and a half to discuss. They were all discussing at the same time. And we didn't see on them.
Yeah.
Will you be coming to the planning committee on the 28th, Tony? Because you are a member of that, aren't you? The Sawston one.
No, I'm not right. I'm coming on and give you a
June.
comment.
Yeah, I was just thinking we could probably do
I'll
with
give
an
you an update on
update.
the 28th.
Yeah, that would be really helpful. I was just thinking we could do with an update, and then if there are any queries before the full parish meeting, we can maybe pick some of them up. That'd be good. Thank you.
Anything else, Tony?
No.
No.
Some parishioners are querying what's happening with Cycleway in regards to daffodils.
They've been replaced. They are replacing what they
Yeah,
can.
they are supposed to be replacing them. I've been
And who's
emailing
replanting them?
the highways guy, John. I've forgotten his. Will probably be up with
So
his drought. But
they've
no,
been
we have
lifted
had a
and taken out of the
correspondence.
ground, or
He
what?
said that. What he said in his email was that any that were damaged or taken away would be replaced. So we do need to keep an eye on that, because several people have mentioned it to me as well. So it'll be good if we can make sure that's done.
Then my other question, up at the AGM I heard about the grass at Plantation Road, Henry Morris, and those tree roots. You were going to see someone.
You know, I'm meeting someone, yeah.
You're going to see someone. Then the next one is, I know we've got money in the Metro Bank. Since they're having problems, having got some problem, we no longer have. So I remember signing the...
No, it didn't go ahead because it took no.
But we had always
But
made
we
sure
have,
that
put it in
the
other accounts.
money in any account is under the limit as well.
Yeah.
That was the point of
That was the point of moving the money, was to be covered. But yeah, we didn't in the end.
Okay.
Metro chose someone else.
Anything else, Neil?
No, that's it, thank you.
Colin? That?
Yes, I was passing Linton Way Rec going on Fairburn Road, road where we've got a lot of trees. I know we had to take a few trees out, didn't we? And I noticed that we've mostly replaced them with new ones. There's one place where there's a gap, and I don't know whether we've planted a new one and it's died and been taken away, or whether we've delayed.
Is it along Baben Road? Because we are doing a reprogram of planting trees, but it's not the time. We've
Yeah,
the other work done,
I
we're doing
have to
that.
make a note for the autumn.
So it's along Baben Road at the top.
Yes, exactly. And there's just one really obvious gap, and I can see that it's where there's a stump. And further on there's a replacement tree that there wasn't, so it's just nice to sort that out.
Martin? James?
When the gentleman was here talking about it, I was put any sort of lighting on the park, and he said, we'll think about that. Not good enough. Can we find out if they're going to put any lights in, because it's very dark outside the park.
As far as I'm aware, they will be putting
I
solar
thought they
lights
were
in
putting them
there.
in because we said don't put them on the edge like the Baben one because they get covered up.
Yeah.
When they get covered, they need to be.
They haven't so far, but I'm
No,
sure
I think
they've got
they've
back
got
surface
back.
on or something, haven't they? But they are intended to do that.
Yeah.
Trouble is that there's no maintenance budget for them, so when the batteries die, they just go.
We did say these ones are
Once
so
they're
these
there,
are
Again, going back to the argument of the maintenance, which I raised, because I used the Babel one as an example, and they said that they would take it up.
They will be, okay, yes, okay.
That's all.
David? Anna?
Yeah, I saw Mike Redshaw today. You remember we made a donation for the fence to be put round the pond at the Chalice Garden. Apparently that's been done this week, so that'll be...
Started today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Started today.
Yeah, so that's good, isn't it?
Everybody
Yes.
wants it done before summer, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. It's been opened, so that's good. So pleased about that. Village Design Guide, there's still time to comment on the consultation which goes up to the end of this month, 31st of May, so you'll get on the website. Or else the boards are at the parish council offices now with some feedback forms, and there's also some feedback forms on the table. We've got Village Design Guide, neighbourhood plan stands at the Chalice Fete this Sunday, 2nd of June at Spicer's, and 8th of June at St Mary's Fete. I've got some people down to help and come along with that and help, because it's a good opportunity for parish councillors to meet villagers as well, and people really do appreciate that. So anyone who's able to join us, then please do let me know. Yeah, so Sunday, yes, Sunday 19th of May, 1:30 to 5:30. Is that right? Seems a long afternoon, but fine. It's really the middle time that most people come. You think? So yeah, anyone who's able to come would be really good. Thank you.
How long do you want?
Would you
Well,
like to sit down?
I still have to do the...
Take that aside of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Janet. For me, it's just to say thank you, all of you, for your hard work and your commitment, and thank you for your vote of confidence in me doing it for the next year, and Janet for doing it for the next year. Thank you very much, and I close the meeting.
Thank you. Thank you.
I need you to sign